are ancestrally connected, and because of ancestral connection, you're able to work with these animals if your ancestors venerate them like that, to be honest, because it boils down to veneration. However, to sit there and say that an animal walks with you outright like a dinosaur.
Some people might be very surprised to hear that I agree with what exactly Afro-Spiritual is saying. Many people may be surprised, especially if they've been with me for a while, because especially a couple years ago I stated that I work with dinosaur spirits. But that is a different context than what that video and in general the video, like, this is one of two videos of where they talk about such subjects, and he's responding to someone saying that the spirit of a dinosaur is in someone's spiritual court, as he says, a spirit that walks with you. Also putting in the context of just like, yes, like this is not saying that you can't work with the spirits of animals, etc., but a lot of that has to do with tradition and the veneration of those spirits in the past. There is not a provable period of time to the point of where it's like likely nigh impossible, give or take a couple animals here and there, but that humans and dinosaurs existing at the same time. Like I said, we have alligators and a couple other examples of such things, but again, that's still a lot of time. And again, the context of that is, usually not what people are referring to. What I was referring to, and my context in saying that I work with dinosaur spirits, is the idea that in much the same way that we can have human ghost, there are animal ghost, and that's how I started with a lot of my spirit work, the spirits of animals, and it's, in my experience, uncommon but possible to have the spirit of a dinosaur around. Nature spirits, spirits of the land. But again, putting that into the context of veneration, it would definitely be very personal and it would work differently than a lot of other animals, whether that is like a pet that you had that has passed or something that within your spirituality has been connected to it. And dinosaurs aren't really going to be that, because even the American version of the show Ghost kind of goes into the fact that during even the Revolutionary War period, we didn't really know about dinosaurs, period. And even with the fact of like many of us went through a dinosaur phase, many of us have probably, never necessarily left that phase, but when it comes to spirituality, it is certainly going to be different. Like, we're not talking about wild wolf dogs and coy dogs here. We are talking about a prehistoric animal that would have never even come across anything like us in its life, and therefore, like, its spiritual interactions with us is most likely just going to be in the context of a wild nature spirit. This is even very different than the idea of venerating dragons, because dragons have incredibly cultural significances and are venerated for such things. So the idea of a dinosaur being in someone's court is indeed rather far-fetched. And I don't think Afro-spiritual in any way is like condoning the idea of like not being imaginative or putting such fun things in your practice, but he is speaking from a traditional mindset about this, and like I said, this idea is kind of far-fetched. And for those who perhaps remember those old videos, because I imagine they'd be hard to find now, but even I state those are prehistoric animals, so they have prehistoric, non-domesticated animal energy. So the existence of dinosaur spirits is possible, even logical, within spirituality logicalness, but saying that one is a part of your spiritual court could be a very dangerous idea.